Hello, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I am Nick from Australia. Welcome to round 11 of the NRL. Hope you guys are doing well on this Tuesday night, currently 6:50 p.m. Hope you guys are doing well. Hopefully round 11 of the NRL was a bit better than Magic Round. Magic Round was it was great to be at Magic Round, had a very fun time up there. Just hopefully we can have less controversy and less sin bins and send-offs and I guess less controversy in general this weekend. But round 11 is going to be interesting. A lot of very unpredictable matchups this weekend. So let's get into it, man. So the first game begins on Thursday night at 7:50 up at Queensland Country Bank Stadium. It is the North Queensland Cowboys up against the Newcastle Knights. The Cowboys are $1.50 favourites. The Newcastle Knights are at $2.50 as well. Now look, the Cowboys last week against the Roosters, I thought they showed some good signs in periods there, but I think the Roosters in the end, they were just, they just had better players and they're a better quality team than the Cowboys are. And Newcastle on the other end, they were disappointing against the West Tigers. I thought they were really poor. But for this game on Thursday night, obviously I'm a Cowboys supporter, so this game is quite interesting. The Cowboys, they've had a bit of form as of late. And Newcastle, they've been pretty disappointing without Mitchell Pearce. So my prediction for Thursday night, I'm going to tip the Cowboys to win against the Newcastle Knights. I think the Cowboys will win. And you know what? I reckon they'll win well. I think Newcastle at the moment, with all their injuries, no Ponga, no Pearce, they're missing a fair bit at the moment. The Cowboys, they'll be looking for a bounce back. So I'm going to tip the Cowboys to beat the Newcastle Knights. Thursday night, I'm going to go the Cowboys, 26 points to 10. And I reckon Scott Drinkwater will be the man of the match on Thursday night. Let's move on to Friday night football now. The first game, it is at 6 o'clock at Central Coast Stadium. It is the New Zealand Warriors up against the West Tigers. The New Zealand Warriors are $1.50 here. The West Tigers are at $2.50. Now, the New Zealand Warriors, I thought they started pretty slow against Parramatta on Sunday. And, they did well to come back in that game a little bit there, but they just weren't good enough on the day. And the West Tigers, well, They blew the Newcastle Knights off the park last week, and I thought they played really well with a lot of spirit. Now, this game for mine, it's a real toss-of-the-coin game. It could go either way. It's a tough one to pick, but I am going to tip the New Zealand Warriors to bounce back from last week. It's going to be a pretty close game in my opinion. It should be a high-scoring game. So I'm going to go the Warriors to beat the West Tigers on Friday night, 24 points to 22. And my man of the match, I'm going to go with Chanel Harris-Tavita to be the man of the match on Friday night. The next game on Friday night is at 7:50 at Nostrado Jubilee Stadium. It is a big rivalry game, a local derby. It is the Cronulla Sutherland Sharks up against the St George Illawarra Dragons. This should be a good game, this one. The Sharks are $1.50. The Dragons are at $2.60. Now, even though the Sharks, they were really slow against South Sydney in the first half, but in the second half, they really came back in that game. I thought they had South shot at one stage, but they weren't able to get the job done. And as for the Dragons, well, they were suffocated against the Melbourne Storm. They had a lot of calls go against them, players getting sin bin and send off. Now, even though the Dragons have a few players out due to suspension, they still have a fairly good side, and the Sharks do as well. So this is going to be a good game. But for this game, like I said, it's a rivalry game, local derby. Should be a big crowd for this one on Friday night. It's going to be a big game. I'm going to go for an upset. I think the Dragons can get the job done. If the likes of Jack Bird stand up and Ben Hunt, Paul Vaughan, if they all play their role, the Dragons will win. It's going to be a close game. It could go either way. But I'm going to go the Dragons to beat the Sharks. 20 points to 16 on Friday night. And my man of the match, I'm going to go Jack Bird. I think he'll have a big game against his former team. Let's move on to Super Saturday. The first game is at 3 o'clock at Seabus Super Stadium on the Gold Coast. It is the Gold Coast Titans up against the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs. Now, the Titans, they are favourites here at $1.20. The Bulldogs, they're at $4.50. Now, the Gold Coast Titans last week against Penrith, they were diabolical. They were disgusting. They were awful. And the Bulldogs, well, they were terrible for about one half of football against Canberra, and then they came out in the second half, and I thought the Bulldogs had the Canberra Raiders beat, but they found a way to lose that game, the Bulldogs. But this is going to be an interesting game. No Fafita for the Titans still, so it brings the Bulldogs back into it. Tough game to call. The Bulldogs could do an upset, but I'm going to go the Titans up at the Gold Coast. I think they'll get the job done at home. I think it'll be a low-scoring game. I'm going to go the Titans. 18 points to 12. I'm not confident with this tip, but I'm going to go the Titans, 18-12. My man of the match, I'm going to go with AJ Brimson to be the man of the match on Saturday afternoon. The next game on Saturday night is at 5:30. It is the Sydney Roosters up against the Brisbane Broncos. The Roosters are $1.10. The Broncos are at $6.50. Look, I don't want to be rude to the Broncos, but this game is going to go one way and one way only. The Roosters will win, and they will win well. The Broncos are shot to pieces. They're changing the hulls every week. It'd be good to see Albert Kelly back for the Broncos. It's going to be good to see him play, but the Broncos, they're shot to pieces at the moment. It's at the SCG as well. The Roosters don't lose too many games down there, and I think the Roosters will have a very big win on Saturday night. I'm going to go the Roosters, 44 points to 4. And my man of the match, I'm going to go Sam Walker. I think he'll have a big game against his former team in the Broncos, or the team that I guess he came out of. So, Roosters to win 44-4. Sam Walker for man of the match. The other game on Saturday night is at 7:30. It's the Canberra Raiders up against the Melbourne Storm. This game is in Canberra at GIO Stadium. Melbourne, they are $1.10 favourites here. Canberra are at $6.50. Look, the Raiders, no Whiten, no Hodgson, no Papali. Melbourne still have a few out, but we saw what they did against the Dragons last week. Canberra, a decent win against the Dogs last week, but nothing to be proud of. And Melbourne, well, they just keep on winning, don't they? So I think Melbourne, they will have a very, very big win on Saturday night. I'm going to go the Melbourne Storm here. 36 points to 6. Melbourne by 30. My man of the match in this game on Saturday night, I'm going to go with Nicho Hynes. The Broncos are apparently interested in him, or Nicho Hynes is interested in going there. So I reckon Nicho Hynes will be out for a statement in this game. So Melbourne to win, 36-6 and Nicho Hynes to be the man of the match. Now let's go on to Sunday football. This is going to be outstanding. Sunday football, the first game is at 2 o'clock. It is the South Sydney Rabbitohs up against the Penrith Panthers. This game is being played at Apex Oval, which is in Dubbo. This is a big game, man. Penrith are $1.35, Souths are at $3.25. This is a potential grand final, a potential semi-final game. Both these teams are some of the contenders of the season. The top 4 contenders at the moment. You've got Penrith, Melbourne, Parramatta and South Sydney all up there at the moment. And this is a really big game. It's a 2 heavyweight clash. So Souths are still without a few players, but they get a few back in Latrell Mitchell, Josh Mansour, maybe Campbell Graham. Penrith, they're pretty much at full strength. This is such a tough game to pick. Can the Rabbitohs end the Panthers streak? It's going to be tough, but I'm going to go the Panthers only because I have more faith in Penrith than I do South Sydney. Could go either way. It's going to be a cracking game nonetheless. It's going to be a double. It should be a sellout. I'm going to go the Panthers here. 24 points to 20. My man of the match, I'm going to go with Jerome Luai. I think he'll be out for a really big game. He wants to play for New South Wales in the Origin. Him versus Cody Walker. Big matchup. Panthers to win. 24-20. Luai man of the match. Should be a blockbuster game on Sunday. The final game of the round, Sunday afternoon, 4 o'clock, Bankwest Stadium. Another blockbuster game. The Parramatta Eels up against the Manly Warringah Seagulls. Parramatta are favourites here at $1.40. Manly are at $3. Now, Parramatta, they were good against New Zealand last week for a while there, and they sort of faded away a little bit at the back end of that game. And Manly, well, they were absolutely clinical against the Broncos on Friday night. Now, Manly do get 2 extra days of preparation for this game because Manly played Friday night last week and Parramatta played on the Sunday. So Manly get a bit of a break for this game here. This is going to be a cracker, man. Like I said, Parramatta $1.40. Manly at $3. So not bad odds for the Seagulls. But you know what? The form that Tom Trbojevic is in at the moment, the form that he's in at the moment, is making everyone around him a better player than what they originally are. I'm going to go Manly. I think Manly can win. It's going to be a really good game of football, this one. Probably the game of the round with South and Penrith. Could go either way. You literally could toss the coin, but I'm going for the upset. I'm going Manly to win. 22 points to 16, and my man of the match, I'm going to go with Tom Trbojevic. Should be a great game, but guys, they're my tips for round 11 of the NRL. I've got the Cowboys, the Warriors, the Dragons, the Titans, the Roosters, the Storm, the Panthers, and the Seagulls. My specials of the round are the Dragons and the Seagulls. But guys, that's it for my tipping video for round 11. Make sure you guys go ahead, like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, guys, take care of yourselves, and I will see you guys later on. Have a good one, guys.